In this video, we'll be looking at Everyday Feminism, which is probably one of the worst websites I've ever seen, apart from BuzzFeed. And there's an article called 10 Things Every Intersectional Feminist Should Ask on a First Date. Well, I think I've done that with a few feminists. It didn't go so well, that's why I'm still single. Because I don't agree with third-way feminism. It's just full of fat, ugly women with hairy legs who are cherry pickers, who cherry pick data to promote their argument, which is not usually sound and usually crumbles like a breadstick under scrutiny, and that's why they don't win a lot of arguments, and that's why they live in an echo chamber and call everybody who disagrees with them misogynist. So we can look at this article by Lara Witt. This is a dry run. I haven't read this yet, but let's go. This article was originally published by Wear Your Voice and was republished here with the author's permission. As a quiz. Oh god. So you're a gay black woman. Just say why are you starting off a conversation like this? But you're really giving off labels already. So why is it important who you are? You know, like, no, what you are. It's who you are, not what you are. Sorry. Right, let's go. I keep close relationships with people who go beyond allyship. Oh, not this allyship again. They're true accomplices in the fight against white supremacy, queerphobia, misogyny. If you're not going to support marginalised folks, just treat them like normal people. Like, I don't need to support marginalised folks. They're to do their own thing. There's institutions out there which want you to work hard. So I'm not, everyone out there for their own. Just go for it. I just want everyone to do well. I don't want to fucking support you. Just do what you want to do. I'm not going to get in your way. Then we can't be friends, let alone date. The personal is political. Beyond lovely, cushioning happiness and support that we receive from our platonic relationships, which are in all honesty soul-feeding and essential, feminists also date. Yeah, like you date fucking soy boys. But there are questions we have to ask before we get close to someone. The following list is applicable to all relationships, certainly just not cisgender. How many fucking labels have you put in there already? Jesus Christ. Cisgender, heterosexual ones. Do you believe that black lives matter? All lives matter. Why is this a thing? Yes. Wonderful. Let's start here. There are 3 categories that are non-negotiable for me. An understanding of race, class, and gender. Why don't you just go out with someone who's just treating you well? Like, why is this such a thing? No wonder so many feminists are single. Not everyone understands how B3 can be insidious, systematic, and intertwined, but anyone who doesn't take the time to learn how systemic racism works isn't going to care about how racism affects me or people who are darker skinned than I am. Oh, not this shit. Like, these people, like, what do they, like, walk around with, like, one of those colour charts you get from B&Q and just matching up and see how fucking victimised they are, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, like, Dr. Dre's doing pretty well for himself, and he's pretty fucking black. I don't want to have laborious discussions where I have to prove to someone that white privilege. I think white privilege is pretty short in South Africa right now. I don't. That's just a concept that you brought up, that the left wing brings up to promote a sort of narrative that isn't necessarily true. It just exists in a record chamber where they disagree on everything and just live in a happy little life where they constantly live in fear of white men. Privilege or non-black privilege exists. Well, I think when O.J. Simpson killed his wife and ran away from the scene of the crime, and got away with it, that's fucking privilege. He got away with it because he's rich, not because he's black. He's fucking rich, and he even read a book a few years later called "How I Would Have Done It." The guy fucking killed his wife and got away scot-free. If they are willing to learn and listen and make the space to decenter the whiteness, what have you got against white people? I thought feminism is all about, equality of men and women have the same rights, which they do. So why is whiteness coming into it? If they are white, that's a good place to start. Oh, Jesus Christ. What are your thoughts on gender and sexual orientation? Just fucking do it. Just do it. I don't care. The gender binary is a tiny box, and I wish it didn't exist. Well, tough. But it does. I wouldn't want to be with anyone who is queerphobic. Homophobic, you mean? Why? There's so many fucking labels these days. I just can't keep up with the bullshit they're coming out with. One out of many important elements to dismantling patriarchy, good luck with that, is to abolish gender roles as well as the limited understanding that we have about sexuality and gender itself. Well, that's that's your narrative, that's your projection, not anyone else's. You're just pushing it anyway to put that little thought in people's heads because you keep pushing this bullshit. I can't imagine being with someone who is transphobic. As a feminist and a woman of colour, it would be a betrayal of what I stand for. Ignoring trans misogynoir. What the fuck does that mean? Would be to deny one of the biggest, most despicable problems that we face. How do you work to dismantle sexism and misogyny in the life? Just don't be a cunt. Jesus Christ. I met a I met a cisgender heteronormative cis men who hate women. I think they just hate you. They say they love women, but that love is conditional on not having their own toxic masculinity questioned or threatened in any way. Ooh, dear. And they love us as a monolith. They love what women have to offer, whether it is sex, love, food, care, emotional labor. Emotional labor? Does that pay? Can I get into that? Does it pay well? They love what women have to offer. No. They love us for what we can do for them, not because of who we are for ourselves. It is crucial for cis men, straight men, to learn how to decenter their male privilege. Does that include suicide rates, death at work, breakdown of families, drug and alcohol problems? They don't really bring this up. In order for them to understand the multitudes of interpretations of femininity and womanhood. You talk so much shit. What are you talking about? Beyond Misogyny 101, does the person you are with understand rape culture? There's no such thing as rape culture. What culture promotes rape? Name one. Name one culture that promotes rape. There isn't one. They're talking shit again. Systemic sexism. What, like being able to punch a man and tell him that you can't punch a girl back? If you can't do that, and that's a common thing that's said through society, that is systemic. And misogynoir. Oh, is that French? Oh, classy. Are they willing to learn if they don't? Misogyny is more than the pay gap, which doesn't exist. It's been proven over and over again by every single economist and the government. It doesn't exist. It's based on your qualifications, your experience, and the job you go for. It's been proven wrong by every single government, every single economist. It doesn't exist. It's just about what jobs you choose to do. And obviously, men go for more dangerous jobs. Hence, why most deaths occur in the workplace happen to men, because it's more dangerous, and therefore they pay for the risk to the body, because you're more likely to die. Like I work on oil rigs. When you work on oil rigs and something goes wrong, you've got two choices: burn to death or drown. Even when you're in a job and that's your risk, then obviously, I want to be able to cash. Walk away from anyone who believes that boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys at the end of the day, I mean, they're like eating mud, building dens, play fighting. That's what men do. Get over it, you fucking bitch. And that women are supposed to be mothers. At some point, most women will become mothers. That's not a bad thing. That's what happens when you breed and bear child. You become a mother. Men become fathers. That's what happens. That's a biological necessity to pass down your DNA to future generations to ensure the survival of your, lineage, whatever. And that women are supposed to be mothers because we're nothing but ambulatory incubators. Why are you putting this sort of such a clinical term for this? Being a mother must be a very powering, beautiful thing for women. Surely, why are you being so negative about this? Is it because you don't have a child yourself? Because you're barren and no man wants to fucking put a seed on you? Because you're a hairy little cunt? What are your thoughts on sex work? Well, I personally think it should be legalized to ensure the safety of women, and it's be regularized. I think women being on the streets is a very dangerous place to be. I think it should be legalised, and women should be free to practice their craft and sex and be safe to do it. You may scratch your head at this one, but much like racism, here we go, and misogynoir. No, it's misogyny, it was misogynoir. Being pro-sex work is a necessity pillar to dismantling the patriarchy. Why is it? Stop talking about patriarchy all the time. What are you talking about? I don't mean pro-sex worker in the sense where non-sex workers write op-eds and think pieces about sex work is amazing and feminist. Why are you doing this? Why are you promoting this narrative that just doesn't make sense? I mean, the kind of where we pass the mic to sex workers because they know their experience is better than anyone who hasn't ever engaged in sex work. I mean, the kind of person pro sexism. Mate, these people talking the lexicon of these people are just. Well, you understand the label of sex workers or colour. What does it matter what colour you are when you're in sex work? I mean, you know, if a man wants to go out with a lady of colour, if you would like to say, stand there, I don't mind. You know, that's for freedom. I'm free market capitalist. If there's a demand for that, you know, niche, then fucking go for it. Especially trans women of colour who engage in sex work because their experience and knowledge is crucial to understanding of the oppressive structures of our world. Oh my god, fucking give me a fucking aneurysm. Are you a supporter of the BDS movement? Is that like irritable bowel syndrome? So I don't know. BDS stands for Boycott, Divest, Sanctions, an effort to end international support for Israel's oppression of Palestine. Do I taste a little bit of anti-Semitism here, guys? I don't know. I mean, come on. I think they're both about each other, to be honest. I grew up with Jewish, Israeli, and non-Israeli friends and Palestinian friends. Before even understanding how power and oppression work together, we understood the trivial hatred that colonized and put in constant danger the lives of Palestinians every single day. Where do you live? Do you live on the Gaza Strip? Do you live on the West Bank? I don't think you do. I think you live in somewhere like California or, you know, sort of some fucking liberal hellhole. Eventually, I learned about the apartheid from a theoretical perspective, and I began to understand the terror, trauma, and stress of having everybody you love and care about get killed. Where do you live, Baghdad? Simply because one nation has the military backing and power to destroy your land for them to settle on. Being pro-Palestine is not the same thing as being anti-Semitic. I shouldn't even have to express that. But being pro-Palestine and BDS is a necessary part of intersectionality. Is it really though? Why you bring up the Middle East? An article that's called 10 things every intersectional feminist should ask on a first date. If I go on a first date and they start bringing up, you know, fucking Middle Eastern conflicts, then I'm probably not going to be fucking interested. I'd rather be interested, you know, what sort of music you like and what type of person you are, and if you're a caring, loving person and with a lot of empathy. When you start talking about fucking Israel and Palestine, then Jesus Christ, that's pretty fucking deep. What is your understanding of settler colonization? This happened so many years ago. Every single you know, imperial power at the time, you know, exploited people. I mean, you know, the Mongols, the Romans, you know, everyone did it. You know what I mean? It's 2017 now. We'll come out with 2018. You know, get over it. Jesus Christ. I didn't grow up in the United States. I was raised in Switzerland. What conflict has Switzerland been in? They're a massive capitalist country. Massively capitalist country. What oppression have you been in, seriously, in Switzerland? There's loads of money out there. Go and fucking get it. You know, gay, trans person of colour, whatever. So my understanding of how Europeans committed genocide. What about the other people who committed genocide? What about the others? What about the other fucking people who committed genocide? These are against indigenous populations here in the US. Wait, hang on, what? I was raised in Switzerland, so my understanding of how Europeans committed genocide against indigenous, yes, they did. I agree, yes. Native Americans were killed in mass numbers, roughly about 6 million. They starved them out by killing all their food sources, and they stole their land. Yeah, I agree. Okay, that's true. It required a good deal of my own research to eventually understand how settler colonialism works and how devastating the erasure and violence against Native Americans is what? This happened a long time ago. A long time ago. I mean, why? Like, your date thinks Native Americans are tropes or relics of the past. Why? Who? Who? No thanks. A key part of intersectionality is having a complete understanding of how historical and current policies endanger the lives of millions of people simply because of white supremacy and the colonialist entitlement of a finite resources and lands. Well, thanks to free market capitalism, you can import resources and therefore live off, resources of other people. What's the problem with that? Do you think capitalism is exploitative? No, it's not. It's not exploitative. If there's money out there, go and get it. The only people holding you back is yourself and your retarded viewpoints on history. It's just history at the end of the day. Anti-capitalism, especially in the US, is imperative if you have an understanding of systemic racism. What the fuck? Andy, what we say? What the fuck you say, bitch? Anti-capitalism, especially in the US, is imperative. No, it's not. If you have understanding of systemic racism, what has capitalism and racism got in common? No, capitalism is the best way of not discriminating people against their color or race or gender, because it is based on your ability to provide labor and to earn money from that labor. It's nothing to do with racism whatsoever. I mean, I think, Michael Jordan, Oprah Winfrey, Dr. Dre, I think they were done pretty fucking well out of capitalism, to be honest. they're fucking multi-millionaires. I think Dr. Dre is a billionaire, actually. The prison industrial complex, the 13th Amendment, and the exploitation. Capitalism, for one, teaches us that we are only valuable if we produce capital. Well, how? Well, you need to produce capital to pay your rent and pay for food and for goods and services. How else are you going to do it with good intentions? Fuck off. If it means that you aren't contributing to the system with your labour, your life means almost nothing. Well, no, because you're not contributing to society. If you're not contributing to society and you're not producing labour, you can't afford to eat, you can't afford to live, and you're not making other people's lives better. What to fucking be homeless then? I mean, come on. If your date says they are anti-fascist and part of the resistance, war resistance, Antifa fucking cunts. They're the biggest fucking bunch of bullies out there. If your date says that anti-fascists are part of the resistance, but they're cool with exploiting labour from communities of colour. Man, Jesus Christ. And they support the school to prison pipeline, then there's a good chance they'll only value you for your ability to nurture them without any reciprocation. Just fucking go to school, work hard, get good degrees, get good education, go for a job, go for qualifications where the labour market needs, which pays well, and fucking go for it. No one's fucking holding you back because they can't hold you back because the capitalism system isn't built for that. It requires the best knowledgeable people to apply themselves for that, job. Not done by colour, basically. It's nonsense. These feminist bullshits are liars. They're lies who are holding you back. Don't listen to them. We live on a tiny planet with land and water within a galaxy surrounded by a universe with an inconceivable number of other galaxies and planets. Yet but here we dictate where we are and who is allowed to be where we are. What? It's mind-boggling that borders are even a thing. Well, yeah, they're pretty fucking important if you don't want to. I think Poland during 1937, I bet they wish they had a fucking border. Okay, I think borders are pretty important for people taking over your fucking country and destroying your people. And the argument before that you said with indigenous people, the Indians, if they had a border, I think that would have been pretty important. But no, you're kind of backtracking on a growing argument here, you fucking bitch. Yeah, we dictate who is allowed. It's mind-boggling that borders being so cool. People, aliens, illegal immigrants are so humane and despicable. Well, if you're in a country illegally, then you're an illegal immigrant, and therefore you are breaking a law. If you apply for the residence of the country and get there legally, then you're not a legal immigrant. Why is it so fucking difficult to understand? I can't just fucking fuck off right, to fucking Costa del Sol and say, well, I don't believe in borders, I'm living here now. Think about the real world, love. The real world, the actual real world. Not bullshit la la lefty land like you fucking live in, you fucking dickhead. Why Americans stop this land? I think Spanish were there before. I think some people saying the Danish. Some people say Danish might have found it first. I think the Spanish were there first. Why America stole this land, colonized this land, created so many borders. There's no borders. It's just it came over the course of a few hundred years. Pushed out, killed, and enslaved people of color. No, people of color were sold. They were sold by Africans for guns, and stuff. They weren't stolen. They were sold. Okay, this is total lies. They were sold. They didn't go to Africa and steal people. They were sold by African kings and lords and rulers. Pushed out, killed, and enslaved people of color, and they have the audacity to claim that this land is theirs and that black and brown immigrants are stealing their jobs. Well, no one's stealing their jobs. If there's a market for it and they're qualified to go for it, then obviously that's how the fundamental capitalism works. And if they're legally and you're a person of color and you're good enough to do a job, then no one's going to turn you away. It's just lies. It's just constant lies. And Holmes, miss me with that bullshit. No one's going to fuck you because you're a retard. Do you support Muslim Americans and non-Muslim people from Islamic countries? Why is the fact that they're Muslim a problem? If their the ethics are against that of Western ideology and they want to demonize women or gay people, then obviously I have a problem with them because there is a lot of that in the Middle East. To deny that is just simply ignorant. It just is. Well, let's go on. I can't think of any other religion that has been vilified and lied about more than Islam in a cultural and systemic way. I am not Muslim, so I will stay in my lane. All good for you. Don't have an opinion on something. Like you don't want to upset or offend anyone. But I cannot imagine for a second even claiming to be a feminist if I didn't stand in solidarity with Muslim friends. What is feminism got to do? It's just everything. It's just a blanket term for everything. Muslim friends and family, especially now, especially after 9/11. That's a long time ago now. 20 years ago. Don't waste your time and energy on dating someone who thinks Islam is inherently violent. I think what's happening in Sweden at the moment, if you look at the attacks, especially in Malmo, especially with the grey attacks, I don't think any country is let in mass numbers of Muslims and, crime and rape and death and terror attacks have gone down. It's never happened. There's no proof of it. So you don't have any sources to prove this because you're an idiot. Instead, read some Huda Shawawi or Mona El Afaway to educate yourself further on Muslim feminism. Yeah, good luck bringing that to Iran or Saudi Arabia where women aren't even allowed to leave the house unless they're with a man. But you won't bring that, will you? Because you're cherry picking your information and pushing it out if it's necessary, true, and biased. Does your allyship include disabled folks? Is there anyone else? Is there any other sort of like niche group of people that you want to be friends with just because, they're niche and you want to look good in front of your fucking lefty retard friends? As an able-bodied woman, as a woman, okay, you're a woman. Again, I will stay in my lane. Good for you. Don't have an opinion on something. Don't ruffle a few feathers. But intersectionality has to include a solid platform for disabled people. And not just the visible disabilities. If you have disabled family or friends, please make the effort to listen and learn about their lives and their experience. Disabled folks are subject to shaming and violence because humans are awful and lack empathy. Humans are awful and lack empathy. Wow. Your nihilism is nothing but spectacular, darling. Be mindful of others who mock disabled people. That kind of cruelty is inexcusable. On a date with someone who uses ableist slurs, walk away. You want to walk away? You want to walk away? This motherfucker is the best troll out there, man. Come on. I can't leave the fucking article like that. Oh, brilliant. Absolute nonsense from Everyday Feminism. I might do a few more videos on Everyday Feminism. There's a lot of shit here. There's a lot of fucking nonsense here. That's absolutely brilliant. But No, I wouldn't date a featherweight feminist because we just argue all the time. And she would just call me names because that's what they do. They can't win arguments, and they're idiots. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'm up for all the rude, nasty names. I love it. It turns me on. So thank you, and see you again next time. Goodbye.